Anakin Skywalker's journey from Jedi to Sith and his eventual redemption still remains one of the most emotional transformations in cinema. Now everyone knows Luke Skywalker's relationship with Vader, how he learned that Vader was his father on Cloud City, how he had to wrestle with that fact after Yoda confirmed it, and how he eventually helped lead his father back to the light. Now what's not as well known is how Leia wrestled with this fact after Luke told her in Return of the Jedi. In today's video, I'm going to be talking about how Anakin actually talked to Leia after his death and some of what followed. This story comes from the expanded universe novel, The Truce at Bakura. This novel actually takes place a few days after the Battle of Endor, so a few days after Leia found out that Darth Vader was her father. The Alliance decided to assist the planet Bakura and the Empire from an invading alien force called the Sea Rook. The Alliance and the Empire formed a temporary truce, hence the name of the novel, The Truce at Bakura. It's a pretty enjoyable novel in my opinion, and one you should definitely check out. Now, during the novel, as Leia walked into the main section of her room, she saw a tall human man standing there in the corner. The man was glowing faintly blue in the dim apartment light. She remembered that Luke told her that Obi-Wan sometimes appeared to him like this. However, she knew that this wasn't Obi-Wan and didn't recognize him at all. Startled, she demanded that he state his business. "Do not fear me," the spirit said softly. "Tell Luke to remember that fear is of the dark side." Still very confused, Leia demanded that he tell her who he is. The spirit stepped into a darker spot where his glow was brighter. Leia could see that he was tall, with a broad and pleasant face and dark hair. "I am your father, Leia." As soon as Anakin finished speaking, Leia felt every dark emotion that she was capable of feeling. Fear, anger, hatred. Hatred for Darth Vader. Anakin told her not to fear him. He told her that he was forgiven but still had much he wished to atone for. He wanted to clear her heart and mind of anger, because in his words, anger is the dark side too. We can clearly see just how hard Anakin is trying to keep his children from following down his path to the dark side. He's going to tell Leia this in a second, but this is actually the last time he's going to be able to appear like this. He'll still be around, he just won't be able to be a blue ghost that can talk to people in the physical world. So in a way, he's trying to kill two birds with one stone by telling Leia things that Luke needs to know, while trying to help Leia get rid of her dark side emotions. Luke is feeling some fear in the novel, fear of their current situation and fear of the future for the galaxy and the Jedi Order. And Leia has been feeling fear and anger for Darth Vader ever since discovering that he was her father. I think this part is really cool and shows us just how changed Anakin is at this point and how much he cares for his children. Now moving on, after Anakin says all this to Leia, she tells him to leave. She's still very angry and not ready to forgive him at this point. Anakin seemed to shrink in his size and told her that he was no longer that man. He was no longer Darth Vader. He asked that she would see him as a stranger instead of an old enemy. Leia told him that he can't restore Alderaan. He can't bring back the people that he's murdered or comfort their widows and children. He also can't undo what he did to the Alliance. Anakin argued that although it wasn't his intent, he helped strengthen the Alliance. Many of the things he did as Vader made people realize just how awful the Empire truly was. Anakin then extended his arm towards Leia. He said that things were changing and he didn't know how long he would be able to appear to Leia. He said that while there was no justifying his actions, Luke had saved him from the dark side. He pleaded with her to believe him. Leia said that she had heard what Luke had told her and that she wasn't Luke or his teacher or his confessor. Now this kind of goes back to what I was saying earlier, but she didn't have the same relationship with him that Luke or Obi-Wan did. Both of them knew Anakin on a different level and were incredibly happy and forgiving when he turned back to the light side. In Leia's words, she was just his daughter by a cruel trick of fate. Anakin insisted that it was because of the Force, that it served some greater purpose. He also told her that he was so proud of her strengths. Anakin again asks Leia for her forgiveness. Leia then brings up Han and how Vader treated him. Leia said that she could almost forgive him for the horrible things that he did to her and other people, because, like Anakin had said, those horrible acts did lead many people to join the Alliance. But she said that he would never get any forgiveness from her because of what he did to Han. Anakin told her that never was too large a word. Anakin slowly started to disappear and told Leia that he might not be able to speak to her again, but if she changed her mind, he would be watching. Now Leia's journey to forgiving Anakin would take a decent amount of time. Eventually, as time goes on, she would learn to slowly let go of her hate for Anakin. In the novel Tatooine Ghost, she visits Tatooine and meets people that knew young Annie while he was a young boy. She also received a journal kept by her grandmother Shmi Skywalker that she wrote in hopes that Anakin would one day read it. There she got to see a completely different Anakin than what she knew. Seeing what Anakin was like before becoming the evil monster that she knew helped soften her feelings towards Anakin. She eventually named her third child after Anakin, wanting to celebrate the man he was as a Jedi and the legacy that he passed on. I really enjoyed getting to see Leia's journey with Anakin. And as a huge Anakin fan, I really enjoyed seeing him have a conversation with Leia as a Force ghost. It's a really cool moment and it really brings his story full circle. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Thank you so much for watching. May the Force be with you all.